We are red. Red is on. That was for you, Joe.
We'll open this meeting of the Board of Selectmen, 12/14, it's not going to be covered, 2016. Okay, show Selectman Jessamine and Selectman Fogg. We're out doing other community work. Okay, budget. There's a couple of changes that pass it.
John, I think there's still some sandwiches downstairs if you'd like one.
Already made the cookies.
Oh, but you want to say the sandwiches were good? Something cold to drink?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll get some.
That was Joyce.
What did I do? Oh,
Get that speaker. All right, so if we kind of glance through the budget, any last minute changes?
this was the board's. I borrowed that to look at.
The tree trimming. I was supposed to get estimates for the tree trimming. I talked to all three entities about taking care of those 3 trees.
Yep.
Asked to have it before today. Did not get it. May come next week. If we don't get it, we won't be able to use this year's funds. So, do you want to put it in the budget or let the budget committee know about this, or just
Well, tell me, can you write down on a piece of paper who you contacted and I'll follow up?
chippers?
Dippers?
I don't know the other two.
What?
I've got it written down over
Okay.
there.
If you do that, I can, and this
Is
is,
it about 2,000?
You know, I don't know. I'm thinking it's less than 4, but I have no idea. I've never done that kind of work. I did talk to,
Is this work we've had done in the past?
we had, well, the 2 smaller trees have never been done. The big tree was done about maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5. It's been a number of years. He did say the big tree was in pretty good shape. It didn't need any shaping or that sort of work, but it did have a lot of dead growth that needed to be taken out, so the green growth will come back and take over.
and there's 2 at Riverfront Park?
There's one at Riverfront Park and the one at Vest Pocket
And West
Park.
Pocket. Okay.
Those, because they're younger trees, newer trees,
Yep.
they'll, trim some for shaping and, again, deadwood trimming on both of them. Vest Pocket Park, he did mention, actually 2 of them mentioned this. Because of the number of trees in that park, that tree is never going to reach its full potential. It's being stunted by the shade. He said there were pear trees in there, which I've never really noticed, but there could be. But he said
There's a lot of
those pear
trees.
trees carry with them different diseases that could affect the spruce trees, so I said to include all of this in their proposal, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something that said, we either choose to keep the spruce trees and remove the pear trees, or remove the spruce trees and keep the pear. You see what I'm saying? But one or the other cannot cohabitate on that lot, because it's so small. The pear trees can get funguses and all kinds of stuff that can affect that tree. But he'll have more in his report.
Okay. And you'll give me the names of the other 2 that you
Yeah, I
contacted?
have them right over there in my park stuff.
Got a new one?
So I don't know if it's work that should be done to keep the trees. It's not public.
Just curious. Did that talk about this in there?
Huge amount of money, but
Thank you.
what do you guys think? might get it before the end of the year, so.
Well, if it's around 3,000, about
Yeah.
we'd still be able to do it at the end of the year.
The contract for it.
We're looking also probably the cheapest one come in next week and ask for funds available to do a $500, $600 project, which is bordering up between right where the factories are, putting a door there so that this is the, what do you call it, the detention place. Cage. And the door to the quadrant is sectioned off so that we're not in any harm's way or anybody else in the PD.
Right, right.
So that, it's roughly around $500 or $600 to petition that hallway off. For the door there.
Okay,
And he'll come next week with that, so that's what he's anticipating.
all right.
Joyce? So when these people are denied for, like, and it says here, because there was information that was not provided, do they get a copy of this? Are they told that? Or-
Yes, we give them a
Does
letter.
someone call them up and say, can you give us more information before the decision to deny is made?
Is that an elderly or veterans?
It's both.
Oh, it's both. The information we send back to them, and we send them a letter. But I'll check with Gail, because maybe there's something verbally that Lauren had said to Gail about that.
All right, so
Because usually she sticks notes on them, what we need,
Okay.
so check on.
major changes, Tim?
There are two major changes, because I was just wondering if I should have printed off the engagement letter, the 3-year engagement, and do one call now tonight, but I didn't know what you were doing. The major changes are putting in the pricing for the 5-year contract into the Public Works sanitation lines. And in doing so, that reduced the expense from the 1-year pricing that was in the prior budget. And it reduced it by some $55,060. And then the other item was increasing one of the, was making a change to wages in Public Works. We had some money identified for salary adjustments, and that was adjusted up slightly. Outside of that, the only other changes were the expenditures were updated as of yesterday. These don't reflect the expenditures that are in process now or will be presented to the board tomorrow night. The assessing contract that the board approved last week, those prices are still the same that are in there.
But it's up to, so this is it.
Yep. Did the board want to act on the auditing agreement this evening?
I signed it.
Excuse me?
Thought we
Oh, did you sign it? The auditing? That's the assessing.
Assessing.
Oh, the auditing.
I thought we did that last week.
Well, the engagement
We
letter.
agreed. We talked.
There was a consensus, but I actually have the engagement letter now for the years 16, 17, and 18, which will be done in calendar years 17, 18, and 19. So if the board would like...
We all have consensus on that. I have no problem doing that.
Then I will print it out.
All right, so, hold on a minute. Let's just stick with the budget for a
Sure.
second. Salaries and the crew, is that where it went?
Yes, yeah. Cruise wages.
Okay. It's easy to explain.
Right.
Other than that, I did add, if you look on the last page, you'll see the very last page of the packet are the estimates for revenues.
Did you take an average of a couple of years, or?
We've actually been seeing increased revenues in two areas. Motor vehicles have been very strong, and we're going to finish up very well this year, and there appears to be no let-up at all in that area. And then also, because of the increased fees that we now charge for building inspection and land use, we've seen much higher revenues there. And then there is a possibility, and I did not budget for it because it is not yet known, but we may be the recipient, if you remember a few years ago, the ash credit from the co-op. There is a move underfoot to release some more money from their capital reserve to the member towns. And if that's the case, then we would hopefully be in receipt of that, but we have no way of knowing that's a certainty for 2017, nor how much they're going to release, nor what our percentage of what they finally decide to release, if they do decide to release it. So, in any event, that's not budgeted, and that would be unexpected if it comes through.
It's quite an increase on motor vehicle permit fees.
It is.
Well, they went up. Didn't the state go up on that?
There was some increase. If you look at the, we're already well above what we budgeted for the year. We had budgeted 545. We're on the 10th of this month. We were already at almost 585. And looking at what we have, generally speaking, December is a pretty big month. So factoring in December month and then also looking at the strength into next year, that's why I'm budgeting up into the 624.
What about the vitals? Licenses, why such a jump?
Let's see, let me find it.
3290.02.
Yeah. I think we had combined, that may be an error.
Okay.
I'll have to check with Cindy. I think that is an error. I think the total is supposed to be 3750 for that line.
Okay.
But we were pretty conservative in many of the lines. The haulers are likely to come in higher than 222. And of course,
Why have police funds? Is it because you're not doing parking?
no, the parking revenue is above that, and they've actually done all right, but you kind of have to look at what the costs of some of these things are. For parking revenue, if we're getting $2,000 a year, we're going to have to spend about $2,000 just on the tickets that they use. They have to buy these in bulk, and there's only a few places that...
So how long did the tickets last? A couple of years?
A couple of years, but it is not a revenue-making, enterprise. It covers the costs, and that's about it.
And then you cover the cost of, what, 4 or 5 years supply?
No. Well, I guess it depends on the number of tickets they write, but...
I guess they better get a little more active out there.
I don't know why we have to get specific tickets and that we can't just have our own printer.
I did ask that question, and it was a lengthy answer about, it has to be something, and I won't do this justice, but it has to be something that adheres to the vehicle in a certain way, is fluorescent, can handle the weather, and then also has to have something that they can mail their payment back in for the ticket. I guess it's a multi, I haven't received one myself, but apparently it's
I
got...
don't think any of that's required by law.
It may not be, but otherwise, if they put a ticket on a car and it dissolves, so it'd have to be printed on there's a name for that paper. Exactly, and there is paper that we can purchase like that, but that is what the chief was asking for.
All right.
So I'll print I'm printing the agreement right now for the accountant, the auditor. The other question is, the board had not officially adopted changing our alert system, although I had put the cost of the new alert system in the budget, so that's something I'm going to have to do. So right now, even though we're on Everbridge, I budgeted in the other amount. The chief has reviewed it. We ran through a test with the new system. It probably has about 90 to 93% of the functionality of Everbridge. But the reality of how you use an alert system, even the chief admitted today that, it takes a while when you're out and need to create an alert. And it's involved. It's a big... It has a lot of features in it, Everbridge does, but when I showed him how simple the other system is, he felt like, oh, that's real easy to do. And also there's a way to assign a primary contact so that if you select primary, then it only goes to one for that person, so you're not getting, Peter saying, I got 3 calls here and 3 emails there. So...
home in here.
The downside is, there are a couple of downsides. There isn't a portal the same way we have today. They actually recommend doing against that, but you can have something similar to that if we like. And you can opt in via your phone with a text to a number, things like that. So.
Price difference?
Well, it's considerable. The one call now is a per use, so it doesn't cost anything for emails. The only thing we would pay for are successful text messages or successful phone calls, and we blast out about 1,150 right now. And we make successful contacts to about 700 because there's a lot of yellow pages and white pages in there that don't ever go through. So I can see what was successful, what wasn't. So it's generally around 720 that are successful. And so for 10,000 contacts with one call now, it's $700. So, and the price goes down the more you buy. So if we bought 20,000, I forget what the price was exactly, maybe it's $900 or something. But they don't expire, and so I determined that with those 10,000, we could send out more than double what we send out now for that $700, as opposed to $3,500 for Everbridge. Let me give you this agreement.
Do you want to make that decision?
This one?
Oh, that.
Oh, Everbridge, I think, yeah, I mean, it sounded like the consensus, everybody was, it's, less money, so.
Right.
Yeah, so everybody,
So I'll make a motion that we go with
One call now.
one call now. Primary source for alert.
Yes, I was going to start with the 10,000. Yep. And if I need to order more at some point, we can. But we'd be sending out a lot of alerts
Okay.
if that were the case.
Do I have a second?
second, is the process to get people connected into it easy?
I'll actually be uploading, I'll be exporting from Everbridge and uploading into it. And then we'll do a publication about it. We'll have something at town meeting. And, we're going to be having a lot of citizen contacts.
Okay, it would be a much more useful tool if we had
Yep.
more of a population involved.
And also, our Everbridge agreement goes through the end of January, so that gives us a transition time. So we're paid up through the end of January, so I've got time to do the export. I've already exported and reformatted it, into the format that it requires for One Call Now. So it'd be very easy to import everything.
Call the question, all those in favor?
Thank you.
So you'll teach me how to do that?
Oh, it's so easy, yeah.
Says the chair required, any and all others may also sign.
It may not be right in the bullseye, but it's right in that next ring.
Can you please educate them?
No, it's
It's our auditor.
yes. So typically what I do, I have done that in the past. I just, in the interest of my own time, to be able to prepare things, as you know, there's been a lot going on, so I haven't had the time.
No, a chair required is absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. If they really understand municipal government, I'd be embarrassed if I were them.
I'm going to ask our state legislators to introduce a bill that makes it permissible for a board to...
It does
have
make
the
it
chair.
permissible, but it's up to the selectmen to make that decision, not our auditor. For them to say that that's required?
Right.
I'll call.
All right. So moving on,
Thank you, Catherine.
we have that signature, we have,
One call now. Did you
One
vote, did you want to vote on these? And would you like to change, I can make the change to that revenue and reprint.
we have to reprint the budget committee.
That's correct.
We don't have to reprint for us, we can just make the change on the
Do you want me to
paper.
go and
Okay.
print a new page? Type a page?
It's not going to affect,
The fact that they don't know.
we can just change it if that's what you feel it
No, it's
is.
the fact that they don't know.
The
Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking about something.
okay.
Still frozen.
I can just change it here, and we really don't have to print me a new one.
Okay.
I'd rather you just print the budget committee and update them.
All right. I will give you, so the total of that line for vitals is going to be $3,750, making the total projected revenue $2,032,195. In which case, hang on 1 minute, let me
So it
find
does change a
somewhere.
lot of other places.
No, we're just going to raise that by $5. I feel completely comfortable making that a $200 increase instead of $195. So the vitals line will be $3,755, and the total revenues will be $2,032,200. Does that make sense? It was a $5 change.
And I'm okay with that.
Last year, we changed some of the amounts that we charge for back past due taxes. Remember that?
Yes, the percent.
How is that
The
going to
penalty.
affect? Will that affect this? Is that?
Does that change it?
That's on the, when we do tax deeding?
Right, yeah, that, it really shouldn't, because we do budget in the sale of town property and anticipated, because it seems as though the average over a number of years, we have a certain amount of money that we typically deed, so we would just be seeing a difference in that amount, not in interest and penalties. But I can tell you, we've collected more.
Penalties,
Well-
basically surcharges that interest.
Yeah, but I thought you were talking about up here in interest and penalties for the town clerk tax collector. Those would be
That shows-
liened,
It's not revenue.
those would
It
be
shows up
liens.
in sale of town property is where we would.
Yeah, it's all combined. So it would really depend upon the value of the property.
70,000.
Right, because it's based on assessed value.
Can you just tell me what
But you have a good memory.
merit rates pool last year for 2016?
Sure. Yep. For which, for all?
Oh,
Or
yeah. Well,
for which department? Administration?
we gotta go through every one of them, don't we?
Well, no, there's just three merit lines. So in admin, last year,
That's town hall.
that's town hall, merit raise pool was approved at $6,647.
What percent?
That was estimated to be 2.5%.
And then we,
Public Works,
wait a minute, so go back to the town hall, so $2,717 is what we did not spend?
that's correct.
Okay. Okay.
That's correct. So then, in Public Works, let's see, the merit raise pool was $4,122. And you'll see that there's little change to that because of the personnel changes.
And it looks like here, it says we didn't spend any of it.
That's correct. But we didn't need to reallocate anything because the merits that were paid, we had more than enough in our wages line.
So that's really not...
So it's not accurate as to,
Oh, so it's not accurate as to what we actually spent out of that line. You took it from wage line?
I can give you,
Instead of doing
right,
that.
and that's what I had recommended and the board
Got
agreed
it.
to at the
I
time.
agree. I remember that now.
We typically will transfer what's needed for those
Can
lines.
you tell me what the cost was?
What we
The
paid
total cost in the department?
for Public Works? Yes, yeah, I'll give that to you.
Okay.
Yep, I'll have to look that up.
All right.
That'll take
And
me a
then
minute.
PD, is that the same situation?
No, PD was a budget transfer because,
Okay.
and the original PD merit was $4,577.
Okay.
And I'll look up the other, just as a matter of how you want to proceed at 7 o'clock at some point, if you'd let me know. In years past, sometimes I've done an overall high-level view.
Right off the bat, we've asked the chair to accept Brock to get up and with his budget only because they've got snow cleanup and it's his first evening. And then we
Sure.
can just ask Jane to go right into you with an overview after that.
Well, and maybe what I could do, just to help Brock out, is just to give where we are year to year, and just a very brief intro to it.
Well, I figured you'd be assisting.
Yeah.
With all-
Is that all right with you, Brock?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just, I
Yeah.
kind of,
No, it's-
and then,
Yep. Yeah, no, that,
You know, on the recent purchases, and how we expended for it, and now the original sidewalk plow was scheduled to be late in, what, 2 years?
No.
No, we didn't have a schedule.
it was,
That
We looked it up and
it
there
was
was nothing.
listed, but it wasn't out
Wasn't-
in any of the years.
Wasn't out in years. There was
Did we have a year that we picked?
2000, it's 13 years old.
Had we scheduled it?
We probably would have done something when we're 15 years old or something like that.
I don't know what the life expectancy of those things are, but I know that they're beaten up.
But clearly, every year
Not
that
even the sidewalks,
it
but-
ages, it's going to have less value as a trade-in now. So even if you had kept it to 15,
But I wouldn't recommend going over the expenditures that we've the year-end expenditures at that time when Brock is coming up to do his proposed budget. I think you're going to get the new people on the budget committee confused. That's only a recommendation. We could go over that after as selectmen.
Just
Right.
recent.
Well, also,
Yes, we can go after.
keep in mind that, they're going to be meeting at the Public Works Garage in, what, 2 weeks?
Well, the
So-
21st is the PD, and then
Right, the
28th is...
28th, right, so they'll have an opportunity to really spend some in-depth time at that point.
Be there.
I think the fact that we have a new director and a new mechanic, to give them time to go over those lists of replacements of vehicles, and things may change.
Right, and
Priorities
Especially
might
what we've
change, yep.
Right.
Discovered in the past few weeks.
And as Brock and I were discussing it earlier, I felt it's absolutely appropriate to say, there's a lot of unknowns. We're learning about the equipment, we're budgeting what we think based on what we know, but the longer we're in place, we're going to know more,
Right.
and
But John and I have always been very upfront all year as to large expenditures and things like that, and that's where John's coming from, where, we really need to continue to do that.
Right.
Brock needs to get back out there, because it's his first
Sure.
time ever cleaning the
Well,
streets down there.
and also, particularly if it comes up, where we're going to end up this year, at the end of the year, that's certainly going to impact that, because I don't think I had shown the board where I was identifying those expenditures coming from, but I've got about 8 different lines where we're pulling money from, with certain assumptions being made, but I would give it a, 90 to 95%, that will be coming in pretty close to all those, so.
You've got an outstanding, I know the police department talked about replacing the doors this year.
We haven't approved that.
The garage doors, yeah. Mhm.
Kind of tight. I think would be, now that Brock's there, the garage doors at the police department, they've never lubricated or maintained them. They came loose. And the garage door company said that they need to be replaced. 2 doors, $2,500. But, we're spending a lot of money.
Print
The way I look at it, I got these garage doors, and they're 25 years old.
So we'll just give them
I
a
just
regular
tighten nuts and
separate.
bolts up. That maybe somebody that's mechanically inclined
Is it,
is going for,
what if I have Kevin go over and actually take a
tear
look
those
at
off
them
and
and
open
assess
them
the
anew.
door
yeah.
to make sure that they're, because a lot of times you can tighten them up with just the rubber,
No,
put
these
some
are
rubber
for-
seals on them.
Those are budget.
Tighten it up,
So,
there's nothing wrong with
wheels, they need lubricating, those bolts always come loose, or it might need alignment, or
Yeah, we just
spring.
need
I mean,
to
if
tear
it's
up
something to a case where
the,
they're
it's the last page.
spending more money to heat the garage, do they heat that?
No.
It's just they go up and down.
And wiggle, and maybe we can just have the garage door company, or maybe I can get Kevin to just go and tighten stuff up.
Yeah, I was gonna stop over there.
How many
at
of those
some
do you
point,
need?
Bring wrenches, probably, once
No,
a year.
how many
or
copies
once
did you make?
so they should-
Do some maintenance on them, and then maybe they'll come. But to answer your question, I haven't been over there to look at the doors, so I can't give you
Yeah.
an honest.
And then we
Can you
wouldn't have to
check
spend
on
the
it?
25.
All right, so we'll get a report in a couple weeks on that, so we don't spend the money unnecessary.
I do have a request I'm going to be bringing. I do have a request I'm going to be bringing for the PD for some surveillance issues there, and also surveillance changes that have to be made there. So, but that would probably be for non-public.
You need to bring it to non-public. All right, because we want to hear about this now. All right, make a motion to go to non-public, policy 99A.3, public safety.
Did you send it?
I'm doing it.
Roll call vote.
Yes.
I think you think I have.
Is this on hold?
These are all trash.
Meeting?
I think the negotiation, you should.
I think tomorrow night we should, he told me to say something.
Make a motion, we seal the minutes of the non-public as they pertain to personnel and public safety permanently.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes. Make a motion, we adjourn.
Yes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Before you turn that on, Pat, go ahead, Joyce.
Someone go down and open the door.
Okay, how does this sound?
Keep talking.
How does this sound? I can't,
That's the one.
that's the one right there? You got it?
Here.
I want to take all these off, too.